Good morning. Social media, I think, have lied to us about what healing looks like and what healing is. Healing isn't just a glowing sunrise, a vision board, or a perfect morning routine. You see healing in the simple things like gardening, like going in your car and crying at the end of a hard day or a good day, or setting an unpopular boundary, or just getting out of bed when you don't even feel like it. So today I want to show you what healing and talk about what healing actually looks like. Disclaimer, this is not mental health advice. This is just my personal view of my healing journey, and maybe it can help someone else. I think the misconception sometimes is that healing is never being hurt again, never getting angry, being happy all the time. That's not healing. That's a fantasy. So that doesn't exist. Um, to share a story, I've been divorced a couple of times. I'm going to use my divorce story throughout this uh, healing video. Um, I got divorced about 10 years ago, and I was devastated. I felt like a failure. I had said to myself, I'm never getting caught like that again. I'm never being in love like that again. And that is coming from someone who's a psychologist, right? Somebody who's supposed to know better. But we're human too. And I had to go through some things. I had to go through some trials in order to get better. I don't know if I'll ever be perfect from everything in life, all my trials, but I'm always on a journey to getting better. That's kind of what healing looks like. Part of my healing journey was learning how to be alone, how to be okay with being alone, how to be comfortable with that, how to be comfortable with myself. Part of that journey in life, not necessarily from the divorce, is this YouTube channel. This YouTube channel puts you out there despite of judgment. And we as women and just people in general are always being judged by something. And we alter who and what we are by the judgment of others. Part of my healing journey is not giving a flying hootie. Not caring about people's judgment and what they think is freeing, you know? You really only have to answer to yourself about your emotions and your feelings. I think that sometimes in our healing journey, we have to take some time and look at ourselves and what we present to a situation, because that's important. You can't change or alter anybody else. The only reasonable control you have in life is what you do and how you react to things that happen. And that affects your healing journey. I believe there's three parts to actively healing. The pain, whatever the pain is that you're dealing with, whether it's grief, divorce, loss of job, whatever that pain is. The lesson you learned from that pain, because every pain has a lesson. And let me tell you, if you do not walk through that uncomfortable feeling of that pain, you will never heal from it. It will continue to repeat itself in life. The second thing in the healing journey is the lesson. What's the lesson? Well, part of the lesson is knowing that you gotta deal with what the pain was. You gotta walk through what the pain was, not around it, not under it, not over it. You actually have to deal with the pain. Sitting over the pain is going through it, like I was saying. You have to realize and accept what you brought to the situation that was not beneficial. You have to be accountable for yourself. That's part of it, right? So I would say my biggest problem or my biggest mistake was um, my selection, right? And I would have to say that I compromised my boundaries. I compromised myself throughout the relationship. And so it just kept getting pushed, right? I wanted this love so bad. So my lesson was stick with my boundaries, because at the end of compromising yourself, you don't, at the end of that journey, you won't know who you are. You won't recognize your own self. And that brings me to growth. Growth doesn't mean that you stop being afraid. It means that you continue to do what you think is best. Continue to walk even though you are afraid, right? You can't just give up and lay down. You got to figure out a way to keep on keeping on. So, what are some signs that you are actually healing? Healing doesn't mean that you don't get knocked down anymore. But what healing does mean is that it doesn't take you as long to get back up. Another sign of healing is that you pick peace over drama. Oh, that's really important. And I tell you, this sign is a big one. That you stop caring what other people think. That you stop waiting for approval from somebody else. Right? Trust yourself. That you are able to trust yourself. You did not get to this point in life. Oh my God. Let me see if I can get this. I hope I'm getting it. Oh, hello. Hi. Hi. Oh my God. Thank you for coming. Hello. Another big indicator that you are healing is that you're comfortable being alone. You get more and more comfortable with your own company. And also realizing that you don't have to be perfect. Plus, perfection is boring. Also, it is unnecessary to win every battle because you can't. So quit trying to win every battle. Find peace. One of the best parts I find about healing is that you learn to be your authentic self. I've always loved purple. I used to wear purple all the time. And then someone said, "Is that the only color you have?" You know, like when I was working. So, because I was managing others' perception of me, I stopped wearing purple so much. Tell me this. Tell me in the comments. Where are you on your healing journey? Have you started yet? Are you thinking about it? Are you just starting? Because this journey of healing, it's intense, you know? It's uncomfortable. But while you're uncomfortable, that's when you start to grow. Now there is a big uncomfortable truth about healing. The further you get along on your healing, your personal healing journey, the smaller your circle will be. You're going to lose some relationships. They won't be the most important ones. Not really. You may think they are, but you're going to lose some relationships. And that's because people who have not attained the healing that you have are not where you are in your healing journey. They prefer the version of you that is not as healed, that does not set boundaries. A lesson my grandmother gave me. She said, if you go through life and you find one true friend, you are extremely blessed and fortunate. One true friend. If. Just remember that, that's a nugget. And I think it's true. You don't make it to 62 without learning some things. You don't make it to 42, 32. You don't make it to 2 without learning some things. But the lessons get more intense. For me, healing wasn't about becoming someone new. It was about returning to the version of myself before the world convinced me that I was not enough. I hope this helps someone along their healing journey, because this is a beautiful place to be.